Alton Towers is home to many rides and attractions, and over time we've seen some of them get removed to make way for bigger and better new ones, or in some cases worse ones. Much worse. But today I'm going to be discussing a ride that's been the centre of a lot of rumours recently, and that is Duel, or in its full name, Duel, the Haunted House Strikes Back. If you're unaware, this ride is a shooting dark ride that takes you through loads of different scenes with zombies, skeletons, really loud screaming ghost things, spiders. Yes I am. And much more. But over the years, it's recently been declining in popularity and functionality. That felt like a big word, with some of the lighting and some of the effects as well being broken for God knows how long. Especially that trommel tunnel. Like, my Christ, when did that last see the light of day? Last time that rotated even an inch, Galactica was probably still called Air, Ripsaw was still with us, and I was probably 4 years old. Despite the fact a lot of the effects were broken for a very long time, and they still are. The ride has occasionally been seen to by their Towers Loving Care program, where they kind of renovate different bits. It recently had a new soundtrack as well, which suits the ride a lot better, I think. Although, I am one to say the old soundtrack hits different. But if I'm being honest, and I think a lot of people will agree with me, it seems like it's on its last legs. Although there's been a discovery round the side of the ride which could suggest it's going to be reimagined or removed. Now, before I discuss this big discovery, I'm going to go into a little bit of the history on the ride, because I know 90% of my videos are future of this, new coaster here and when, but today we have a history lesson, and well, this is part of a future speculation video. So hello guys, welcome back to the history of the Shooty Blaster ride at Alton Towers Resort. The ride opened back in 1992 as the Haunted House and was the largest ghost train ride in the world. There was a minimum height restriction of 1.1 meters for young... Why does that even matter? Nobody asked. It was originally designed by Mr. Jonathan Wardley and the Sparks Group, and the ride itself was built by Mack Rides. Yes, the same people who made Icon made Duel. Wow. Over time, from the opening back in 1992, a lot of the animatronics and effects broke. And by 2002, the ride had died off in popularity. So to shoot it back up the popularity charts, no pun intended, Blaster, the Two Swords Group thought it'd be a brilliant idea to add guns, lasers, zombies. It reopened in 2003 as Duel, the Haunted House Strikes Back. And can you believe I wasn't born when it reopened under that name? Why did I write that down? So now we know a bit about the history of the ride. What does the future concern? Well, this huge discovery that was made, it doesn't seem very big when you first hear about it, but pretty much a Merlin magic making van has been seen around the side of the ride. Yes, it may just sound like a van has parked up, but no. Merlin magic making are commonly known to help create brand new rides and attractions and kind of bring what they envision to life, having done this with Wicker Man and even more rides. So you can see why now that seeing a van of theirs really randomly parked around the side of the Duel building really does seem a bit suspect. Will this mean that it's going to get refurbished and completely redone as Duel, or will it be completely flattened and removed? I mean, inside the ride itself, there seems to be a really big lack of care for anything in there, like the floors on the exit corridor, my god, and some of the lighting and the theming is just non-existent. So could we see Duel undergo a huge upgrade and finally sort out all of its forever ongoing problems? And could we see a modernised version of the Ghost Train? Please no VR. Or, as said, will we see the ride go on to be completely removed and replaced by whatever else could take its slot? A huge new area with a new coaster? Honestly, who knows at this point, because I certainly don't. I love how all of these questions have somehow come from just a van being parked around the side of a warehouse. If we're speaking more on the refurbished side of things, they could literally strip out the entire inside of the ride and create a brand new, I don't know, trackless dark ride of some sort. I'd love to see that, but I highly doubt it. If I see that tunnel move even slightly, that'd be a job well done. And to back up the point it might be staying as well, the queue line inside has recently been rerouted and the one outside has been cleared for some reason. Although if that isn't the plan and they just decide to remove it, I wouldn't be surprised if this just becomes the site for SW9. Could we see a brand new Gloomywood themed area with a brand new coaster, maybe some flat rides? Honestly, that plot of land is huge. You never know what could take it up. Nonetheless, do you think Duel is on the chopping block, or do you think it's going to undergo a huge change for either 2023 or later years? Leave your thoughts in the comments.